LCISD Mathematics, Grade 8, Unit 5, and Semester Exam 2016-2017. Question 1. Tricia and Melanie are both saving money for their summer vacations. They both began saving at the same time. Tricia started with $10.25 and added $5.15 to her savings every month. Melanie did not have a starting amount, but adds $10.25 to her savings every month. Which of the following equations could be used to determine how many months, M, it will take before Tricia and Melanie both have saved the same amount of money? Number 2. Solve the following equation algebraically. Show all work for your solution process. Number 3. Jack and Tim are racing remote-controlled cars. Jack's car travels 3.5 feet per second, while Jim's car travels 5.25 feet per second. Because Jack's car is slower, Tim gave Jack a 10-foot head start. Which inequality could be used to determine after how many seconds S, Tim's car, will be ahead of Jack's car? Number 4. Justin, William, Sharice, and Cynthia solved the following equations on their math test. Justin got an answer of 2.625. William got an answer of 5. Sharice got an answer of 21. Cynthia got an answer of 15. Who was correct? F, Justin, G, William, H, Sharice, and J, Cynthia. 5. The mass of beaker A is measured after 2.5 ounces of liquid is added to 3/4 of the number of grams, G, of sodium in beaker A. The mass B is measured after 2.4 ounces of liquid is removed from 4/3 of the number of grams, G, of solution in beaker B. How many grams of sodium are each beaker when the masses of beaker A and beaker B are equivalent? 6. Greg has $50 in his savings account. He deposits $20 in the account each week. His sister Lauren opened an account today and will put $25 in the account each week. How many weeks will it take for Lauren to have more money saved than Greg? Which of the following equations corresponds to the above problem? Number 7. Identify which of the following situations corresponds to the equation if X represents the days that a car is rented and the cost is equal. A. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $30 plus an additional $20 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. B. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $28 plus an additional $36 per day. C. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. D. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $28 per day. Number 8. Which situation can be represented by the equation 1,500 minus 50x equals 2,000 minus 100x? F. There are 2 water tanks in the city. One has 1,500 gallons and gains 50 gallons each hour. The other tanks have 2,000 gallons and gains 100 gallons each hour. When will the tanks have the same amount of water? G. There are 2 water tanks in the city. One tank has 1,500 gallons and loses 50 gallons each hour. The other tank has 2,000 gallons and gains 100 gallons each hour. When will the tanks have the same amount of water? H. There are 2 water tanks in the city. One tank has 1,500 gallons and loses 50 gallons each hour. The other tank has 2,000 gallons and loses 100 gallons each hour. When will the tanks have the same amount of water? J. There are 2 water tanks in the city. One tank has 1,500 gallons and loses 50 gallons each hour. The other tank has 2,000 gallons and loses 100 gallons each hour. When will the bigger tank have more water? Number 9. Gus and Mark collect baseball cards and they keep them in plastic sleeves. Gus has 5 plastic sleeves that are full of cards. Mark has 2 sleeves full of cards and 6 additional cards. If Gus and Mark have the same number of cards, how many cards will each sleeve hold? Number 10. Identify the model that can be used to solve the equation 3x plus 2 equals 5x minus 8. Number 11. 4 students are each trying to raise the same amount of money for a class trip. The table below shows how much of each student's goal has been met. The student, part of goal met. And this is for the fundraiser's progress. Chelsea, Devin, Wong, Marcella. Which list shows the numbers in the table in order from least to greatest? Number 12. Which graph shows a proportional relationship between x and y? You'll be using these answer choices on page 11. An aquarium is being filled with water. The graph shows the height of the water over time as the aquarium is being filled. Aquarium, height in inches, time seconds. Which statement best describes the rate of change for this situation? A. The height of the water increases 20 inches per second. B. The height of the water increases 1 inch per second. C. The height of the water increases 5 inches per second. D. The height of the water increases 2.5 inches per second. Number 14. Carnival M charges an entrance fee of $5.65 per ticket for the rides. Carnival P charges an entrance fee of $10.45 per ticket for the rides. How many tickets must be purchased in order for the total cost at Carnival M and Carnival P to be the same? 15. The value of y varies directly with x. When y equals 75, then x equals 1/2. What is the value of y when x is 2 1/4? 16. What are the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of the linear function shown on the grid? Number 17. Which table contains only corresponding x values and y values where the value of y is 3 more than the quotient of x and 2? Number 18. Which situation represents a proportional relationship? F. The cost of purchasing a basket of oranges for $1.30 per pound plus $5 for the basket. G. The cost of purchasing peaches for $7 per box of peaches with a delivery charge of $3. H. The cost of purchasing grapefruit for $1.80 per pound with a coupon for $1 off the total cost. J. The cost of purchasing apples for $1.75 per pound plus a shipping fee of 16 cents per pound. 19. Jamie used a microscope to measure the diameter of a hair. She found that the diameter of a hair was 0.00072 meter. How is this number written in scientific notation? Number 20. Triangles PQR and RST are similar right triangles. Which proportion can be used to show that the slope of PR is equal to the slope of RT? Which set of ordered pairs represents y as a function of f? 22. Which statement describes the mapping x and y? F. The mapping represents y as a function of x because each y value corresponds to exactly one x value. G. The mapping does not represent y as a function of x because two of the x values correspond to the same y value. H. The mapping represents y as a function of x because each x value corresponds to exactly one y value. J. The mapping does not represent y as a function of x because there are more x values than the different corresponding y values. 23. Three groups of students use different methods to estimate the diagonal length of a patio in feet. Their results were: which list shows these diagonal lengths in order from greatest to least? 24. The list shows the number of songs that 5 students each downloaded last week. Which is the mean absolute deviation of the numbers in the list?